All right, welcome back. As the outrageous levels of fraud in this country come into focus, a bombshell report from the Paragon Health Institute, which is a health policy watchdog, estimating more than 6 million Obamacare enrollees are potentially fraudulent, not eligible for benefits. They're called phantom enrollees. That figure represents over a quarter of all of the Obamacare recipients. Remember, Democrats can't wait to get as many people on Obamacare as they possibly can. Well, about 25% of it appears are fraudulent. They're stealing $25 billion from all of us. Welcome to your government. The report reveals Florida and Texas have 63% of all of these alleged improper enrollments. The head of the Paragon Health Institute telling the Washington Post the problem is more severe in states that did not expand Medicaid, because in those states there's incentives to overestimate income and claim a subsidy. Dr. Oz addressing this today as he handled the White House press briefing.
We believe that 35%, roughly, of the people that are using the Affordable Care Act, Obamacare exchanges, because they've never used the program once, they've never filed a claim, may not be legit. 5-6 million people we could be paying premiums for because they don't have to contribute anything. So they don't even know they're getting it. They're in 2 states at once getting full insurance paid for by us.
It's so infuriating. And Senator Dave McCormick, Pennsylvania, joins us now to talk about it. Isn't that the way it usually works? They create a government program. They try to get as many people on it as possible. They don't like looking for fraud because they don't want to find it. And we're left with the bill.
Hey, Rob, good to see you. Yeah, this is absolutely, as you say, a bombshell, but it's not a surprise. I think what we've seen over and over again is that the Democrats have expanded these programs dramatically. They're growing faster. Medicaid and SNAP are growing faster than any other entitlement program. And there's enormous fraud. By most estimates, hundreds of billions of dollars of fraud. I think the effort that J.D. Vance is leading is going to hopefully get to the bottom of this in all states. You've seen double-digit growth in Medicaid, and we tried to make the simplest reforms in the Working Families Tax Cut Act, and the Democrats resisted it and misrepresented it every step of the way. Most basic reforms. And so this has become a slush fund for many of the Democrat priorities, and we've got to rein it in.
Why, explain exactly why you believe that they are so inherently against any kind of fraud reform, any kind of watchdog over all of this money that they demand we give them.
Well, I think the money has largely gone to groups or individuals that have been supportive of the Democratic agenda. Let me just give you a small example. In the Medicaid reforms that we were seeking to do in the Working Families Tax Cut and eventually did, the essentially only thing we did is we slowed the rate of growth in Medicaid from projected 6% a year to 3% a year. And we said the most basic thing. We need to have a work requirement, 80 hours a month, not a week. If you can't find a job, you can do volunteer work, you can do education. And yet the Democrats resisted this every step of the way and then misrepresented what the bill actually did. And the mainstream media picked it up. And so when I go back to Pennsylvania, people are describing what it did to me in ways that are completely inaccurate. The Democrats resist because it benefits them, and it's a huge waste of taxpayer dollars.
It's billions every time we turn around. It's another program, and it's billions of our dollars. And all we hear is pay your fair share, give us more money, make the government bigger. Daily Wire exposing yet another massive fraud scandal. This is in your neighboring state of Ohio. Refugees from the small country of Bhutan. I don't think I've ever met anybody from Bhutan. There's not many of these people in the country. They've been billing the government from their Medicaid firms. It's all connected to this same group of, just like the Somalis in Minnesota, it's Bhutan in Ohio. This community, Senator, has allegedly received $350 million through this fraud. That's a tenth of their home country's GDP. My question for you is, as we see this, is there something going on with NGOs? I mean, how are these people coming in here and all figuring this out together and creating like a coalition of the same group of refugees that are all stealing in the same way from the government? It feels coordinated to me.
Well, first of all, this is all, we should not lose sight of the fact, this is all cleanup. From years of wide open borders. It's all cleanup from years of terrible oversight and really expanding these programs. And now we're just beginning to get our hands around the scope and the scale of the fraud and bringing scrutiny to this. Listen, we as Republicans, and certainly I have said this again and again, we want to make sure that these programs protect the most vulnerable among us who they're designed for. But what's happening right now is the spending is so out of control, it's jeopardizing the very purpose that they were designed for in the first place because of this excessive fraud and the misuse of taxpayer dollars in pursuit of personal gain and fraud. And this is what we're going to get to the bottom of. And I applaud the president and the vice president for finally putting the focus on this. Dr. Oz is doing a great job on this. I bet we'll find evidence of this in every single state, and I'm going to do everything I can to support it.
Senator, we appreciate you coming on. Good to see you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
You know, everybody's reporting the same stories, the same spin. You turn the channel, it's always the same. But not us. We're different. We report the real news. No spin, just the facts. Turn to us, and you won't turn back.
Tune in to Rob Schmitt Tonight on Newsmax.